Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna start letting them in. All right, come on in, come on in, come on in, everyone. Welcome to Neumi Members Night. This is Wednesday, July 10th. Y'all, I couldn't be more excited because we're just a day away of kicking off the annual Neumi Global Summit, our birthday bash kicking off in Salt Lake City, Utah. But tonight, I couldn't be more excited for what we've got lined up for the members throughout the world. Dr. Jerry Shaw, Neumi Crown, and Jeremy Jenkins, who is a almost a three-star, not three-star, but he's got some amazing training for each and every one of us tonight. And Dr. Jerry is going to kind of talk about that in just a couple minutes. But you have about another 60 seconds to invite. If you have someone that's supposed to be coming, not here yet, get on the phones, get on the horn, and get them invited. All right. Welcome to Neumi Members Night, everyone. Like I said before, my name is Keith Chasson, Double Diamond with Neumi, your host for this evening. We have Crown Diamond, Dr. Jerry Shaw. Hold on a second, I got to select English here. It wants me to select Indonesia. Dr. Jerry, Neumi Crown, Dr. Jerry Shaw. I just met Dr. Jerry, just maybe about a year and a half ago. I didn't know Dr. Jerry before Neumi, and what a pleasure. I couldn't be more excited to have a man of his character, his caliber, his integrity, leading the charge when it comes to this message of hydrostat nanotechnology on a global scale. Dr. Jerry comes to Neumi with just a broad background in practice of Ayurvedic medicine, Chinese medicine. He's practiced kinesiology in the past, several different modalities that really led him to successfully open and operate several multidisciplinary clinics throughout his career. And guess what? This industry of network marketing allowed him to do a few things different. Number one, to retire from handling patients and clients on that aspect and be able to be more available and travel and do some really cool things with his family and friends across the world. So with no further ado, I'd like to before we introduce Dr. Jerry Shaw, I want everyone to know that tonight's presentation is in English. And I know we have a lot of folks from around the world, different languages. So because of that, we're going to enable captions tonight for tonight's presentation. So take a listen.
Untuk mengaktifkan terjemahan bahasa Indonesia, silakan klik caption di panel laptop atau handphone Anda semua.
Para poder obtener la traducción en español, es necesario hacer clic en el menú de Zoom y elegir la opción Subtítulos en español.
大家好，如果你想看字幕，请按屏幕底下的 CC 按钮，选择中文。此功能仅适用于直播。
Bonjour, bienvenue à cet événement Neumi. Vous pouvez activer les sous-titres dans votre langue en cliquant sur Sous-titres au bas de l'écran. Veuillez noter que cette option fonctionne uniquement dans la salle Zoom en direct. Merci et bonne écoute.
大家好，如果你想 看字幕，請按屏幕底下嘅 CC 按鈕選擇中文。呢個功能淨係適用於直播。
All right. All right. So no further ado, welcome Dr. Jerry Shaw. Dr. Jerry, take it away.
Thank you, Keith. The audio was going in and out a little bit on the introduction. Can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear.
Okay, very cool. Your introduction mentioned some of my background and the fact that network marketing kind of freed me up, kind of retired me from all of that. And it's been an amazing thing because so many things have happened, like meeting the amazing leaders like yourself, Keith, like Jeremy Jenkins, who's on the call tonight, and so many others, too many others to mention that are on this call. Some of the greatest leaders in the industry and just great people, a lot of heart, a lot of soul. It is truly the most amazing industry in the world today. And it's difficult finding the right company, but once you do, it doesn't get any better than this. It really is truly people helping people, and achieving, stretching beyond their, outside of their box, achieving their real why we are all here. And we do it together. And we realize that together we are a force. And just like me alone wouldn't be able to accomplish anything in network marketing, but the team does great things. So I have huge honor and respect for this team. I'm very excited about tonight's call because I've heard so much about Jeremy Jenkins. We were introduced a while back through my good friend that I've known for over 20 years, Brenda Marks. And Brenda Marks is a double diamond with Neumi and just a great person. She kind of works a lot behind the scenes, but she's just an amazing individual. Truly, I would never have met Brenda Marks if I hadn't been in this industry as well. And I have one of the best friends of my life. So again, the introduction to Jeremy Jenkins, it just adds dimensions to your life. And it's just a great thing to participate in and be a part of. And Jeremy actually is he's kind of famous for his training, as 10 steps to success. And that's why I'm really excited about this call tonight, because he's going to show us his slides on that training. He is a certified Microsoft systems engineer. He's had massive success in various online ventures as an influencer and an affiliate. And he is also fluent in Spanish. So he's just an amazing person. I'm so happy to get to know him. And I just wanted to say a few things about, trainings and why we're here and why we do these things. Anyone that's attended any trainings I've done, I speak a lot about goals and your why. Well, that's foundational. And that requires us to get out of the box. And if we never get out of the box, then we just stay this cog in the machine our whole life. We look back on it and wish we had. So I think it's really important that we establish those goals and the why, and Jeremy may cover more of that as he gets to it. But I just wrote down some thoughts here. This is necessary for us to grow personally and professionally. And that's the beautiful part of this business. It truly does cause personal development. This stretching that we do does cause development on many levels of our character and of our being. We actually become better parents and fathers and mothers and whatever we do, plumbers, carpenters, doctors, lawyers, whatever we do, you become better at it because you expand on your own being and your own creative ability and your own ability to create great things in this world. So it makes us better people. It's necessary to get out of the box for us to grow personally and professionally. As I said, the only way we can facilitate and maintain this growth is to change. And the only way we can change is to learn. And that's why we show up on these trainings. And that's what Jeremy is here tonight for, so that we all can learn together. I look forward to learning from him. And I'm going to sit back and enjoy this. And Jeremy, thank you so much for being here tonight for us. And I know you've got slides here to show us. And I'm going to sit back and watch it happen. And I'm going to learn. I'm going to take notes. I've got my pen and paper ready to go.
There we go. Awesome. Thanks, Dr. Jerry. That is amazing. And you're absolutely right. I mean, just everything you said is all in my slides tonight. Hope you guys really enjoy it. Yeah, I'm super excited to meet all of those of you who are going to be here in Salt Lake City. That's where I live, is here in Utah. I have the privilege of being able to go and visit the home office quite often and meet with Steve and Ryan and Aaron and Chris and everybody else, right? It's an absolute pleasure to be able to meet with them. They're some of the best people I've ever met in my life. Having done this now coming up on 30 years, you meet a lot of people in this industry, like you said, and that's why we do it, right? It's the, I love to say, the cool thing about this industry, what we do, is the people. It's the people, it's the relationships that we develop. That's what makes it all worthwhile. So the money's great, but it's the relationships and that personal development that you're talking about. So let's go ahead and dive right into this, because I know, everybody's time is valuable. A lot of people are probably prepping, packing to catch their flights and everything to come to the convention. So it's going to be fun. But here it is. 10 steps to success. These are the 10 steps that I've learned. I learned from my mentor years ago, and I've been able to share with my teams all across the world, mostly in Spanish, some in Japanese, right? We got a lot of things going on all across the world, but it really is something that if you can apply these 10 steps in your business, you will have success. It's a guarantee, right? And we'll talk about that. So let's just dive in and really understand why this is so important. Step one, defining your why, right? So Dr. Jerry mentioned, hey, you got to have a why that's more powerful than your why not. Okay. It's the rocket fuel. Your why is the fuel. It's what will get your rocket off the ground. If you don't have it, then you're not going anywhere. And it could be as simple as, I want to pay off my credit cards, right? It could be, you know what? I want to pay off my house. I want to crush my mortgage, right? Like this family did. Or it could be something like, you know what? I want to go and travel the world and see all the beautiful beaches and places all around the world. And that's awesome. And that will get us started and it'll keep us going. But you know what? It needs to be more personal as well. It can't just be generic. Okay. When you're defining your why, you really need to have something specific that you can put like on a dream board, on your mirror, next to your bed, whatever, wherever you want to put it. My dream that I haven't achieved yet, but I'm going to go see the pyramids. I love Egypt culture. I love the mummy, and that whole thing. And so I remember years ago, I went to a timeshare presentation. They asked me, where would you want to go if you could travel anywhere? And I said, I'm going to go see the pyramids. I think that's so cool. And it's always been my dream. Unfortunately, haven't been able to do it yet, but I'm going. And so that's for me, it's very specific. That is my dream. Also, it's not enough to say, oh, I just want a new car, right? No, it's got to be specific. I want a blue Chevy Colorado, brand new 2025 model. That's going to be my truck right there, right? That is my why. That is what gets me up in the morning. That's what motivates me. It's specific to me. Okay. And then after I've got the new house, after I've got the new car, after I went and seen the pyramids, you know what really motivates me is I want to be able to go and give back to the world. I want to be able to go and maybe help dig wells in a third world country and provide clean water to kids, right? I want to be able to go and make the world a better place. That is what makes me want to get up and do this thing and get through the hard times and really achieve everything that we can achieve here at Neumi. So step number one, define your why and have it be so specific that it's more powerful than your why not. Okay. Now, here's a real quick quote. Make your vision clear so that your fears become irrelevant. That is the key to step number one. All right, step number two. Now that you've defined your why, you know why you're doing this. Now we're going to launch our biz, okay? And there's always this whole thing about, oh, do I do it the old school way, right? In-home meetings and talking to people and, doing three-way calls, or do I do the new school, right? Do I go out and create my social media profile and become an influencer and get 10 million followers on TikTok or whatever. Well, I believe it's a combination. You got to do both. Okay. You got to do both. You got to do the basics, right? You got to do the old school stuff. You got to actually pick up the phone and call people and talk to them. But then you can also do what I like to call lighthouse marketing. Lighthouse marketing is this idea of, you know what? A lot of times we're scared to talk to people, but what if you could attract people to you, right? Instead of being the one that says, oh, you know what, there's a storm coming and there's a boat out on the ocean and, and they're lost and the sailors are going to drown or whatever. And so I go in my little rowboat, right? And I've got my searchlight and I'm looking and I'm trying to bring the sailors in and I'm tired and it's wet and it's cold and I'm going, no. Wouldn't it be better to be a lighthouse where you shine your light out there and you attract those people in so that they don't, that you're not the one out there prospecting so much. You're the one that's just providing content, value, and opportunity, and people come to you, right? You attract them like flies to the light, right? The moths to the light. That's what we want to be. We want to be able to do both sides of it. And then once you do attract them in, now we're going to do the old school stuff, which is actually creating a relationship with them and working with them and mentoring them, right? That's how it works. Okay. So we're going to be a magnet. Okay. It's magnetic marketing. A lot of people call it attraction marketing, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. But that's what we're doing. We're creating that light. We're shining our light out there to attract people in, the value that we have, and then we're working with them and doing all that tried and true stuff that we all know has worked for 50 years, right? Which is actually talking to people and helping them set their goals and getting them launched and so on. Okay. That's step number 2, launching your biz. And it can be in-home meetings and it could be online, doesn't matter. Okay. Try and do a combination of both if you can. Now, step number 3, then, now that you've launched your biz, it's time to set some goals, right? It's time to say, hey, you know what? Okay, what do I want to achieve? Obviously, the long-term goal is your why, right? It ties back to step number 1. But to get to that why, you got to have your medium and short-term goals, okay? So what does that mean? Well, obviously, they need to be specific and measurable and attainable and relevant and time-bound, all that. But you know what? We don't want to fall into some of the mistakes that happen with goal setting. And it could be that it's just too big of a goal right now in the beginning, right? Too many goals. They're not specific enough. They're not written down, right? Another big important key factor to goal setting is that you actually write it down, okay? And the other real important thing that I've learned with goal setting is that a lot of times we set the goal that doesn't depend on us, right? For example, let's say I set a goal. I said, you know what? I'm going to sign up 2 people this week, right? I'm going to go out. I'm going to get 2 brand new members in my business, and and I'm excited about that. But what happens is, the week goes by, and maybe you talk to 100 people and whatever, and at the end of the week, nobody signed up. That happens, right? Well, is that your fault? No, because people have their free agency. People have the ability to choose and to say no. And so if you base your goal on something that depends on other people, guess what? It could be that you don't achieve it because it didn't depend on you. So a realistic goal, something that depends on you, would be, I'm going to talk to 20 people this week, no matter what. I don't know, I might do 2 a day or something, 5 a day, whatever it is, right? But my goal for me is I'm going to talk to 20 people, 25 people this week. And if at the end of the week, I talk to 25 people, but got all no's, it's okay. I hit my goal. And that's what matters, right? Because if you do your goal, the numbers are going to work out where you're going to get some yeses, right? And you're going to get some people signing up. But don't base it on something that doesn't depend on you. Base your goals on things that you are responsible for and you have control over. Okay. All right. So a goal without a plan is just a wish, right? So you got to have that plan. You got to figure out what it is you're going to do each and every day and week to achieve your goals. Why do goals matter? Because you can't achieve something you don't know about. Okay. And if you're working with your team, you got to do some team goals. And it's the same thing, right? If your team doesn't know what the goal is, they're not going to be able to achieve it. So if you set those goals and you communicate those goals, guess what? you're going to be successful. Now, step number 4 is the commitment. Okay. So we got our why, we've launched our biz, we've set some goals, but you know what? Now those headwinds are going to start coming, right? All of a sudden, the bad days are going to happen. You're going to have people that say no to you. You're going to have people that join and then quit. You're going to have people that, tell you you're crazy for being involved in something like this. There's all the negative things that can happen. And what do you got to do? You've got to just commit. I like this quote here, right? Motivation is what gets you started, but commitment is what keeps you going, right? And then I like the analogy of a marriage, okay? That's why I got these wedding rings on here, because what does the wedding ceremony consist of? It says, in sickness and in health, right? In the good and the bad, okay? Until death do us part. And that's kind of how you have to treat this. You got to say, you know what? I'm in this no matter what. I don't care if we got rainy days. I don't care if things go bad. I don't care if somebody gets sick. We're going to keep pushing through and keep going, because commitment means staying loyal to what you said you're going to do long after the mood you set it in has left, right? Key thing. Okay. Now that takes us to step number 5, because now that we're committed, well, guess what? We now need to become that $1 million person, right? It's not enough to say, I'm going to go make $1 million, right? No, you need to become that $1 million person. Jim Rohn was the one that really emphasized that a lot. I love him. He was a great mentor. And he would always say, right, it's not enough to just go and win the lottery, because how many people win the lottery and then a few years later, they're dead broke, right? And how many people go and make $1 million, lose the $1 million, and then they go make $1 million again, because they are that $1 million person, right? And so that's the idea here, is if we continue to do personal development on a daily basis, it all ties back to goal setting, right? The goal setting shouldn't just be, oh, I'm going to go talk to 100 people this month. It should also be, I'm going to read how many chapters a day in a book. I'm going to listen to some training audios. I'm going to be part of these member nights, right? I'm going to be on the trainings that my leaders are doing. Whatever it is, you've got to be part of that so that you can learn the things and become that $1 million person. You don't just get it, you become it. Okay. And there's some books here that I've really loved, from How to Win Friends and Influence People, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, right? The Slight Edge. So many ways that we can become and become and become better on a daily basis. Okay. As Jim Rohn said, if you want to have more, you have to become more. For things to change, you have to change. For things to get better, you have to become better. If you improve, everything will improve for you. If you grow, your money will grow. Your relationships, your health, your business, and every external effect will mirror that growth in equal correlation. Okay, so amazing. All right. So another thing, Zig Ziglar, when you get by what you get by reaching your destination is not nearly as important as what you will become by reaching your destination. And that's the bottom line. All right, step number 6, plug in. Okay, so we've got our goals, we've launched our biz, we're committed, right? We're starting to do personal development. Well, guess what? Now we got to plug in. Just like the picture of the phone here, the battery is down and it's in the red zone, right? You're down at like 2-3% battery. What do we all do when our phone's about to die? We're scrambling, right? Where can I plug it in? Where can I connect my phone? I can't be disconnected. Right? And that's exactly what happens if you don't stay plugged in. If you don't commit to being on the calls, to being on the Zooms, to participating in all the events and all the different things that the company offers, you're going to get cold. Your battery's going to drain. You're going to die out. You're going to fall away. So stay close to the campfire, stay warm, rub shoulders with the leaders, go to the meetings, right? And more than anything, avoid shiny object syndrome. We all see it. I get bombarded all the time. Every day, somebody's trying to pitch some new tool to me, some new whatever, right? Hey, come do this, come do that, come, invest in this new thing, whatever. And I'm like, nope, I'm not going to get distracted by all these shiny objects that keep getting thrown at me, right? I'm going to stay the course. I'm going to go to the meetings. I'm going to do what I know is tried and true. And we've heard it from all the leaders here in the company. The secrets to success is just keeping it super simple and duplicatable, right? Neumi 1, 2, 3, okay, ABC 1, 2, 3. That's how you do it. You don't get distracted by all the crazy stuff out there, right? So if we stay plugged in, we're going to have our battery fully charged, and we're going to be able to go and do the rest of what we need to do. Now, step number 7. Okay, so we're committed, we're plugged in, we're ready, we got our goals, we're doing our personal development. Guess what? Now it's time to actually go out and talk to people, right? We got to learn how to invite. We got to go out and be able to share the message with people, right? Whether they just want to be a customer with the product or whether they want to be, on the money making side with us, doesn't matter. We need to be able to share with people, and it's super easy. I like to use what we call the form method, which is to just strike up a conversation. You can bring up family, occupation, recreation, and then share your message. Okay, that's the idea. Is you ask them about their family, you ask them about their occupation, you ask them about what they do for a living or what they like to do, and then once you kind of got that thing going, now you share your message of, hey, I make money, online helping people with their health and wellness and whatever it is, or however you want to say it, and away we go. Okay, but then the second part of this is now when you're inviting people, is people are going to put up that barrier, right? They're going to put up that force field, right? That shield of like, oh no, you're trying to sell me, okay? You're trying to prospect me and stuff. So one of the key things I've learned with all of this is having the posture, right? We call it posture in the industry. And another term for that I like to use is I've got the cookie. Okay. What does that mean? Well, if somebody comes at you and says, "Oh, that's one of those pyramid schemes," or "Oh, no, you're crazy, why are you involved in that kind of stuff?" Or "Oh, I don't know, that sounds kind of expensive," or "Oh, I don't know, maybe I got to go talk to my husband or my wife about it," right? Well, if we don't have that posture, a lot of times what we end up doing is to go into begging mode, right? And what begging mode is basically like, oh no, no, it's not a pyramid scheme. What are you talking about? Or oh no, it's this is one of the best things ever. Yeah, and we lose our posture, right? We kind of give in to their negative attack. But if we have the cookie, if we have the solution, guess what we do? Our whole mannerism changes. And if they try and say something like, oh, that's one of those pyramid schemes, you know what you could say? You say, oh, you know what? Yeah, you're probably right. Hey, do you know anybody else that might want to, learn how to improve their health with, amazing new technology, or anybody else that's looking to make some extra money on the side? I'd like to talk to them, right? Like you're so confident, you're so sure about what you've got that you don't care what they say, right? You've got the cookie, you've got the answer, you've got the solution. And so whatever they throw at you, no, they're the ones being idiots, not you, right? They're the ones that are throwing away a great opportunity, not you. So if they're not interested, if they want to go make excuses or whatever, that's on them. Oh, okay. Oh, you're too busy. Okay, that's great. You know what? I talk to 20 people a day, so it sounds like you're maybe not one of the people that would be great for this. So that's okay. Let me know when you're ready, and we'll talk. Right? What does that do? You maintain the power, you maintain that position, that posture, and now they're reeling. Right now they're going, whoa, wait, whoa. Oh, okay, is it really that good, right? And they might leave, right? They might like disconnect for a few days or whatever, but they're going to be thinking about it, right? They're going to be like, wow, what is it that they've got? He was so sure of himself, or she was so sure of herself, right? Oh my goodness. And then next time you talk to them, they're going to be like, okay, what is it? Right? So that is the answer. When you're inviting, introduce yourself, make sure it's all good, and you create that relationship of trust. The people got to know you, like you, and trust you, all of that. But then maintain your posture always that you have the answer that's going to bless their lives. And if they're turning it down, that's on them. Okay. Now, a part of that, the other thing that will give you that full confidence, okay, is what I like to call learning the biz and knowing that you have a 5-star opportunity. Okay. There are so many companies out there. There's so many businesses that you could be part of. And a lot of them are good, right? A lot of them have a lot of things going for them. They've got a good product, maybe, or maybe they've got a really amazing compensation plan, or maybe their leaders are amazing and they have great mentorship and all that. Okay. But when we're looking for something, when you're looking for a hotel, right? Do you want a 3-star hotel or do you want a 5-star hotel? Right? If you're looking to buy something online on Amazon or whatever, right? What do you look? You look and say, oh, okay, this thing is, oh, that one's rated 4.5 stars, right? Oh, okay, that's pretty good. Something else might be just like a 2 or 3-star thing. Okay. We're always looking for that 5-star because we want quality. We want something that's good, right? And the same thing with the company. So here are the 5 stars that I look for when I'm looking for an opportunity. And I saw it immediately when I was introduced to Neumi almost a little over a year ago. And the first thing, of course, is the company, right? Who's behind the company? Who are the visionaries? Who are the founders? What do they got going for them? And of course, who can compete with Steve Scott, right? Okay, all right, visionary, mentor, all of that stuff. But not only that, it's also, what is the company doing? Are they doing things correctly? Is the infrastructure there? Are they able to scale? Are they able to do all the things we need to do to go international and all that stuff, right? Those are some of the things I look for. And when I checking off those boxes, like, oh, wow, they got that, and they can pay people and blah, 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 right? And you just go through all the stuff and yep, okay, company, star number 1. Star number 2, the leaders, right? And you go, okay, who are the leaders here? And again, it can, on corporate side, sure, you've got some great leaders on the corporate side, but then you go, okay, who's in the field, right? Who are the leaders? I've got all the way up, my sponsor, Brenda Marks, and okay, Dr. Jerry, all the way up. You got Karen Justice. Okay, cool. And then all the way up Alex Monteroso. Oh my gosh, like who are all these amazing people that are part of this company that are doing these trainings and working with us to make sure that we're having success. Okay, star number 2. There we go. Check it off. Third, the product, right? Is the product something that people actually want without the money-making part of it, right? Is the product something that actually works? Is the science there? Is it, the testimonials there? Is it actually working? Is it actually helping people? Are people wanting to repurchase it because it actually worked for them? Yeah, you can check that box off, right? Wow, okay, we got a 3-star company so far. What about compensation though, right? Is the compensation fair? Is it easy to understand? Is it simple? Does it allow people to get into profit quickly? Is it something that that you don't have to explain? You don't have to know, like the example of the mechanic, right? It's like, okay, I can go into my car and I know what a carburetor is and the spark plugs and the fuel injectors and all those things, right? Like people don't want to have to know all that stuff. All they want to know is that I can get in my car, turn the key, and I can just turn the steering wheel, no, gas and brakes, and I'm going. Right? That's it. That's how it's that simple. Okay. You don't have to know 10,000 formulas on how to do this and how to do that. And, okay. Well, I only qualify for this bonus if I do these 1,000 things, right? No, we don't want complication. We want something that's fair, that pays out the most in the industry, all those things. And it's very simple. We got it. Check it off. And then, of course, timing, right? So you see the image here. All companies go through these stages: the formulation stage, the momentum stage, and then the stabilization stage, right? And most people that make the biggest checks in our industry do it when they join either in formulation or right before momentum. And guess what, guys? Look where we're at, right? I mean, it is like the best timing you could ever imagine as we're just about to launch all these new countries. Congratulations to all those from Indonesia and everywhere else that are joining, because we're right there. We're right about to go into that momentum phase with new product launches and other things. It's just going to be mind-boggling to see over the next few years how we go into that momentum. So there we go. 5th star. We have a 5-star opportunity right here that a lot of companies can't say. Either the timing's wrong, they're already 30, 40 years old, right? Or their product is just so-so, their comp plan's great, but their product's only so-so, or their product is amazing, but their comp plan sucks, right? You just kind of have to look at all that and go, yeah, there's very few 5-star opportunities out there. And guess what? We've got one. And when you know that, now you can go back with that invite and say, we've got the cookie. We have the solution. Right. Step number 9 now is now you're a leader. You've started to invite people. You started to talk to people. You're starting to build your team. Well, guess what? Now you need to go through these 5 steps of leadership that Mr. John Maxwell teaches in his book, right? The 5 steps of leadership. And they have to do with, first of all, position. People will follow you just because you're the boss, right? Or you're their supervisor or something. It's just, they have to follow you because, oh, well, right? You could fire them if they don't. But we don't want that. We want to be at least at level 2, which is permission, right? This is where people follow you because they want to, because they know you, they like you, they trust you. And you say, hey, we should go do this. You should try out this product. This thing's really cool. Okay. And you start out that way. But then you get to step number 3 or level number 3, which is production. And production is now people follow you because of what you have accomplished, right? All of a sudden they're like, oh, wow, look at that. He's making money and he's having success and the recognition and going up through the ranks, all those things, right? And people are like, okay, yeah, I want to follow that person because look what they're doing. Okay. But then where it really gets good is when you hit level 4, which is people development. And this is where people follow you, not because of what you've done, but because what you have done for them. Because they followed you, now they're going up through the ranks. Now they're making big checks. Now they are having success, and they will follow you to the ends of the earth because they know if they continue to follow you, they will continue to be successful as well. And now, of course, then there's the 5th level pinnacle, right? People follow you because of what you represent, right? Like you're a name brand person now, a household name, and very few of us ever will get to that one. That's not something I ever expect to be, right? But, there are certain people out there, the John Maxwells, the Jim Rohns, and so on, Robert Kiyosaki's that are a household name, right? They're pinnacle, and that's great. And we can maybe achieve that at some point, right? But for now, let's try and be level 3 and level 4 leaders, because as John Quincy Adams said, if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, and do more, you are a leader. So that takes us to step number 10, which I like to call the golden rule or the golden formula. And it really comes down to this. If you do everything correctly and you do it consistently, and you give it enough time, you will be successful, period. Like it's a mathematical formula, right? It's a guarantee. If you're not having success yet, it's because either you're not doing it correctly, which means you haven't done the previous 9 steps, okay? Or you're not doing them right or consistently, okay? And then second is the consistent thing, right? You've got to be doing them all the time. You can't like start and then disappear for a week and maybe come back a little bit and then disappear for a month and then try and come back again. It doesn't work. It's got to be consistent, right? And then, of course, you got to give it enough time, right? You can't just plant your seed and expect your apple tree tomorrow, right? You got to plant it. You got to cultivate it. The law of the harvest is real, right? You got to do all that. And then with enough time, it will give you the fruit and you will be successful. So as Jim Rohn says, success is neither magical nor mysterious, right? It's just the natural consequence of consistently applying the basic fundamentals. And that's it. If you do all these 10 steps, my friends, you will be successful, guaranteed. Okay. So that is the end of the 10 steps. Hopefully you took lots of notes, and turn it back to you, Dr. Jerry. Thanks so much. Oh, you're on mute. There you go. You unmute now.
I did it. Thank you. That's Jeremy, thank you so much. That's one of those trainings that's step by step that we can all picture, we can all relate to. And I just want to add that Jeremy's one of these people that he just kicked off recently with Neumi, and he's obviously walking his talk. He had 3-star volume. We thought he was a 3-star. That's what was on the header when we set this call up. but he was just qualifying a 2-star. But he's got the momentum to be diamond, which I believe he will be by the end of this month. And you can see why. He knows he has that heart, he has the vision, and he has the knowledge. And it all kind of comes together, and he puts it together really well. This is one of those trainings that I think we need every once in a while, you know, like maybe even once a month. We just kind of plug into it, because it's one of those trainings that you go, aha, you know, I see that one actually hits me, even though he went over it once already. So Jeremy, thank you so much. I think I'm sure a lot of people took a lot of really good notes. I would love to have you back again. You know, maybe we could do this on a consistent basis, ongoing now for a while, as you make this diamond, double diamond, triple diamond crown run. And we can all kind of follow along with that, and, you know, take these, get these inspirations from you. So I just want to also thank everyone for showing up here tonight. You're all truly leaders, and we just have huge respect for all of you. So thank you. And Keith, I'm going to let you announce the code to get the live stream for $10 if you're not able to go to the event, which, by the way, I'm not able to do it this time, but I'm going to be live streaming it for sure. So Keith, go ahead and let us know how we do that and get it for like 80% off.
Absolutely. I can tell you, Dr. Jerry and I didn't talk about this at all, but at the end of my notes, I took 3 pages of copious notes, but at the end it says Eventbrite, Neumi Zoom. So that was one thing I was going to cover. He didn't even know that. Good job, Dr. Jerry. That's what happens when you're in tune, right? Hey, so what a great training, Jeremy. Thank you so much. You know, they say a lot of times it's better to be reminded than instructed, right? when you in the industry for a certain amount of time, you hear a lot of things and learn a lot of things and take a lot of notes. But because it's a lot, sometimes like drinking water through a fire hose, you tend to, you know, forget some things or don't take certain actions. So this is a great training. I loved it, enjoyed it, especially the 4th step, the commitment part, right? When you went through that, it reminded me, you said that following through on a decision long after the mood in which it was created is gone, right?
Yeah.
I call that character, man. That's how you define character right there. The character is the ability to follow through on a decision long after the mood in which it was created is gone. Because that, a lot of times these decisions we make are fleeting, and you know, you gotta stick to your guns. There's so much out there, and you're right. I mean, daily, ding ding, notification. Hey, would you look at this? Hey, can you look at this? Hey, have you saw this? It's just, it comes constantly, and so there's a lot of distractions. But I can tell you, the only reason that people fail in this industry is broken focus. If you don't have the goals and dreams that you set forth according to Jeremy's 10 steps, it's because somewhere along the line we allowed something to break our focus. So just refocus. Now's the time. The birthday bash is this weekend, and if you don't have a ticket to go, like Dr. Jerry said, you can go to Eventbrite right now and click on the Global Summit tab. It says $50. Put it in your shopping cart, and then there's a discount code box. In that box, type in Neumi Zoom, all one word, NEUMIZOOM, Neumi Zoom, and that'll get you 80% off the price for $10. You'll be able to participate and plug in to the live stream. Now, the whole event's not going to be live stream, but the important parts where we're launching the new products, the new stuff, everything. That's the part you're going to get to plug into and participate in that first mover advantage from the information. So definitely get your ticket. If you're not going, get the $10 ticket, plug in. It's going to be an absolute remarkable event. And this is the last event for the or Zoom call for the week. Steve Scott's not going to be doing his tomorrow night. He's going to be tied up with the event. I don't believe Karen Justice is doing her call Saturday morning. I'm not certain on that. Of course, this is a Neumi nationwide call. But next Tuesday, we will be back with the global presentation Tuesday night, 6 o'clock Mountain Time, 5 Pacific, 7 Central, and 8 o'clock Eastern. So if you're going to the summit, we'll see you there. If you're not, plug in, $10 ticket, get it done. With that, we'll see y'all next week. Dr. Jeremy, thank y'all so much. What a great call tonight. Good job.
Thank you, Keith. Thank you, Jeremy.